What's going on, everyone? So welcome to my latest video. This is part of a series where I focus on Academy Award Best Picture nominees from a certain year. Done such years in the past, it's just 2000, 2022, and I'm currently working my way through the 1990s. I've done 1999. My apologies. I have not done 1999 yet. I've done 1990, 1991, 92, 93, 94, 95, and you guys guessed it by clicking this video. I am doing the 1996 Academy Award Best Picture nominees and ranking them from worst to best. Now, 1996 had 5 Academy Award Best Picture nominees, so I'll be ranking it from 5 being the worst to 1 being the best, and of course, my humble opinion. And that being said, I'll be very curious to hear your guys' ranking of the 1996 Academy Award Best Picture nominees down below. But guys, enough exposition. Let's get started. So kicking things off, number 5, we have Shine. So Shine, I think, is a very middle-of-the-road biopic. I think that every cliche that you might imagine a biopic has, this one does have it, and it's unfortunately not able to rise to the task of going above those biopic cliches. It feels very standard issue. I can understand why some people might love this movie. I do think Jeffrey Rush does a really good job in the lead performance. But other than that, I wasn't really able to grasp this movie in terms of really fully embracing it. It just felt very kind of, whatever. But that being said, I can see why some people might have this higher up on their list or might even love this. I know it was beloved for its time. Haven't really heard too much about it, lately. Like, I don't really hear people say, oh yeah, Shine's a great movie. But I'm very curious to hear your guys' ranking, particularly of where Shine's going to be. But for me, I just wasn't really a big fan of it. I felt kind of mixed about it, and that's why it's number 5. Next up, my number 4, we have the movie that won Best Picture, and that is my number 4, The English Patient. So The English Patient I saw, 8 years ago, and I thought it was solid. But I decided to revisit it when I was doing the 1990 Academy Award Best Picture winners, which is something I focused on at the beginning of the pandemic. And rewatching The English Patient is when it really hit me that I respect the filmmaking of The English Patient. Like, I do think the filmmaking is outstanding, particularly the cinematography. It's really fantastic stuff. But the problem is that the movie itself is just so dull. It's so overlong. It's got a romance that it's just like I really didn't care about. Well acted for sure, but just everything about it just feels very plodding. And also, I just really didn't think the themes and messages were that interesting. It's a very middle-of-the-road movie. I am truly surprised it won Best Picture. I am. Especially with some of the other nominees that it was up against. It's like, what? But here we are. I can see why some people might love this movie. I can. But for me, similar to Shine, I feel quite mixed about it. But I can definitely see why some people might love this. And that's why it's my number 4. Next up, my number 3. I know a lot of people that love this movie. I think it's solid. My number 3 is Jerry Maguire. Well acted, for sure. Charming at times? Yeah, of course. But this movie really didn't stick with me. I think it's solidly put together, for sure. But I really don't have much more to say about it. I think it's solid. That's the word I keep using for it. But I can see the appeal for it. I can see why it was a box office success, why to this day it's pretty much a, it's in the zeitgeist of everything. Like, everyone knows about Jerry Maguire. Everyone knows the Show Me the Money line. It's something that's very popular, and it's embraced by our society. I totally get that. It's solid. That's it. Moving on. So that was my number 3. Next up, my number 2, we have Secrets and Lies. So yeah, I know what you guys are thinking. You didn't even open this up yet? Well, here's the thing. I'm probably going to be opening it up soon. But I watched it for the first time about a month or 2 ago, and I got it out from the library, and I wasn't really expecting much from it, but I gotta say, right from the beginning, I knew that I was in for something special, because Secrets and Lies feels very natural. I think that that's one of the best ways of putting this movie. It is very, very, very well put together. It's got incredible acting. I love the dialogue. I love the cinematography. The length, it's over 2 hours for sure, but the extended length is warranted. And I do think that overall what it builds up to in terms of the directing is really good. I loved this film. I think that it is very, very underappreciated these days. Like, I know for its time it did get a bunch of Oscar nominations, but I just wish more people were talking about this movie because it's really, really good. And that's why it's my number 2. Next up, my number 1, the film that I definitely 100% think should have won Best Picture in 1996. My number one, we have Fargo. Yeah, you betcha. Fargo's great. It is less than 100 minutes. It breezes by, but at the same time, it may be breezy, but it also contains really, really well fleshed out characters that also are quite quirky, and those quirks are utilized to garner humor that is both dark, but also just so, so perfect. I love Frances McDormand. I think she gives a great performance. Steve Buscemi gives a nice supporting term that is quite funny, if you will. It's just overall a film that you can't help but love. I can see why some people might not like it though, because it is odd, it's quite quirky. But I think for many people, they'll look at that and they'll see that that's part of the charm of this film. That's why a lot of people come back to this film because of that. But also just because it's stupid characters doing stupid things, but at the same time, these stupid characters are so well written. So it's like you buy into the stupidity and it makes so much sense. I love Fargo. I think Fargo is incredible, and that's why I have Fargo as my number one. But yeah, overall, 1996 was an interesting year to say the least in terms of Academy Award Best Picture nominees. I mean, two of the films I love, Fargo and Secrets and Lies. One of them I think is solid, Jerry Maguire, and then Shine and The English Patient I just feel quite indifferent to. Quite surprised that both are on that list, but it is what it is. I think overall, not a bad year. And I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on the 1996 Academy Award Best Picture nominees. Let me know in the comment section down below. And guys, as always, don't forget the subscription, notification bell, follow me down Letterboxd, and I will catch you guys later.